Leah Henry here, holding it down, and I'm talking to HU alum Marlon Wayans. I'm super excited because I'm a huge fan, and I always try to support my HU Bison. So let's start off with, I just feel like over the years, you've kind of transitioned into this like low-key sex symbol. Like, I feel like when you were doing your show with your brother, you were considered like the goofy one, but now you kind of looking like a snack. Like, what's all that about?
Yeah, I just know who I am, and it took a long time. It took me, some people know them when they're young. I always knew who I was. I always knew who I was going to be, but it took me 47 years to fit the skin of who I am. That's old. You like old men.
First of all, I don't like old men. Do you think you look old?
I say I look old. My knees are old. Like I'm tired. No, honestly, I don't. I feel 19. I always feel 19, but I just feel like I feel mature. Like I feel like I don't have to do that. Like I can sit in the pocket and just chill. And then when it's time to be funny, all right, let him go. No, let's come back, sit in the pocket. Like now, it was like my first 30 years in the game, I wouldn't have said, yo, I want to do romantic comedies. Now I go, I like romantic comedies. I like movies that have stories.
By the way, Naked was super good.
Naked, right? It was funny at times. It was ridiculous, but it was a man that loved a woman that wasn't man enough. Then he grew to be man enough, and he lost the woman because he still wasn't man enough, and he went one extra step, and he got the woman. And that, to me, kind of is a representation of like everything that I'm chasing in my life. This career I have, it's a woman. Boy meets girl, boy gets girl, boy woos girl, boy loses girl. And now how do you get girl back? And, you know, it's the thing that wakes me up every day. It's just my love for the art of comedy. I just love it. And where I'm going, I don't know. All I know is that when I die or when I'm gone, I left some dope things behind. And that's for people to figure out.
Naked was actually like one of the first rom-coms I ever seen that was like actually black, like had real black people, but yet it was an actual true to the genre rom-com.
Yeah.
And honestly, you did a really good job tackling that genre.
Thank you.
And at the end of the day, I'm always going to support and show love because you're a Howard Bison. Well, you're not an alum.
I love HU alums, but
you're not a real alum. But you know,
some
Howard,
of them Negroes, I'd be like,
first of all,
I'm a pass. I don't need to see his stuff.
Listen, Lala went to Howard for like a month, and we call her an alum. So we can call you an alum.
I didn't graduate. They call me like HU Bison. I'm like, I'm Bice. I only went for like 2 years, man, and I left because I learned what I need to learn, and everything else I need to learn was out in California. But I love HU. Actually, when I landed, I hit my publicist. I was like, yo, I want to do a talk with the kids. Like, send me to the School of C and let me just sit in a room full of 30 kids and let them just ask me questions. I have nothing prepared, but I have a well of knowledge. And anything that those kids want to ask me, I'm absolutely there for them to inspire, just to be a well of business knowledge, because that's something that I don't think we have enough of in schools, right? Schools, they always give these professors, but professors, a lot of them ain't doing it because they love that.
Yeah.
They're doing that because they settle in, because they never did that.
Mm-hmm.
For me, if ever I would go back and I become a professor, I did that. Okay. So the way I want to teach you guys is from the actual perspective of what it really is like to be in this industry and what it really takes to be successful, not just in this industry, but in life. And that is never giving up. You say, I want to do this. I dream a dream. What's the biggest version of that dream? I work toward that dream, and I don't stop, and I never quit. And the day I quit, that's when I become a failure. But every other day outside of that I'm working toward it, I am successul.
Okay, well, listen, since we're putting things in the universe, I want to be a talk show host. Good. So when I become the talk show host, when you going to be a guest?
Absolutely.
We putting it right here.
I'll do your pilot.
Hey, let's do it. Come on, somebody. Come on.
You dream it, you will it, you do it, we make it happen. I have no problem with sitting down and be like, yo, blah, 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 blah. That's an hour of my time. Go for it.
Let's do it. Mind you, again, it's a full circle moment because you were my first interview at Howard University. And let me just say that, by the way, you probably don't remember this because I suck. We were in a room full of people.
No, you never suck. You just, listen, if you look at me 20 years ago, you go, yo, he sucked compared to where I'm at. Right? I did suck, but life is about progressions. You never sucked. If you love something, you doing it. Yeah. You just knew, but you never sucked.
You're right. Well, I'm
not gonna let you talk bad about you.
Well, I was not as good. I was not as seasoned in the game. And I remember we got one question each. They put us in a huddle because you ran out of time. You talking to the kids. You loved kids. So I remember literally you sat there and explained Haunted House 2, the synopsis the entire time, right? And when they were like, "What's your one question?" So could you just tell us what the movie's about? You literally the whole whole event talked about what the movie was about, and my dumb ass was like, "Oh, so tell me what the movie's about."
You was just nervous. That's like nerves and lack of like true preparation. Because if you was listening to the whole interview, you would have came with something that nobody else asked
right, absolutely,
from a different angle. But at least, but here's the thing, right? You had the balls to get up and ask, and a lot of people just sat there on their hands and not said nothing. You
this is true.
May not know what the hell you were saying, but the fact that you got up and said it is a step towards success. So with everything bad, there's always something good. Don't look at the glass as half empty, and always know that there's a silver lining. God don't throw stones.
Come on.
He only it throws jewels at us.
Preach. Now I'm a whole church kid, so you was about to have me in my bag.
I'm not. I never been. How about this? I never been to church. I've been to church one time.
In your
my
whole
life.
entire life?
I'm my dad's your witness. I'm sorry, but you know.
Do you practice though? Oh, okay. So
churches everywhere. Churches in every book. Churches in every moment. God is omnipresent, and He's in everything. He's in every conversation you'll ever have. You just got to listen for Him.
Okay.
Every experience you go through, we are all a Bible. We are all a Bible verse. Everything you go through in your life. If I left behind my life in a book, it can be a scripture for somebody. They could read that and be like, "Wow, the lessons that I got from there are as poignant as the messages from like Jonah and the whale." Like, we're all Bible stories.
All right, so let's get into your kids a little bit. You done gave us Bible verses, but I know your family is super important to you, and your son looks just like you, but your kids look like they have maybe like a little bit of Asian.
My daughter, so her mom is half black, half Chinese.
Oh, okay.
And so I went to Indonesia. I went to Bali, and when I was there, Wayan. When they said, "Hey, Wayan," you know what that means? I said, "What?" And it was without the S. Wayans is the eldest sibling. It's a real word in Indonesia. Wayan. But my mom used to always say, yeah, let me tell you about your fucking grandma. This bitch went and put an S on Wayans. There was no S. Y'all were Wayan. And come to find out,
she was right.
I think my mama crazy, but she was right about that.
So I know your niece did super well on Tiffany Haddish's.
She
did. I saw her open up for you actually when you were at the DC Improv, and she did a good job there. So I was really excited to see her.
You gotta see it now. When was that? That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah, but I watched her on Tiffany Haddish's Netflix special. She did a great job there too.
Great job. And the only thing weird for me was she wore makeup, and I was like, "Yo, sit in the pocket and be you. You ain't gotta do what people tell you to do in this industry. Be raw, be you. Put your little baseball cap on so you feel comfortable in your skin. Take off that stupid suit jacket. Put on a baseball jacket and go rock." Right.
That's dope. No, yeah, she killed it.
I was proud of her. She did, and I'm proud of Tiffany for having that platform. Everybody's like, "Why didn't you guys do it?" I just didn't think it was appropriate. I think it's more appropriate for her platform, on Tiffany's platform, and for Shantae to do that on her own.
Now, talking about what, because you obviously worked with Netflix multiple times with the whole Monique situation. Where do you stand on that? Like, did you see where she was coming from?
I let sister get your money. I see where she's coming from. I can agree with the what, but I don't necessarily agree with the how.
Okay.
And I think there's a better way for her to achieve what she wants. And there's a different way. It's just the how. What she's saying, she's 100% right. The woman is absolutely decorated. She has busted her ass for years. This wasn't her first special. It's mini specials. But there's just a way to go about things. You know, sometimes in business, it's not always making everybody your enemy. It's how do you gain an ally,
right?
And then build a relationship with this industry. It's not about burning the bridges. It's about building the bridges. It's easy to burn a bridge. One of the easiest things to do.
Right.
You know how long it takes to build a bridge? You could burn a bridge tomorrow, and that bridge will burn down in less than 24 hours. Now, when you have to rebuild that bridge, it takes years.
Yeah.
It's a long process.
Yeah.
And so all I say to all of us is let's get better at building bridges and not burning them. And that goes for with the industry, and that goes for with ourselves. And I just personally think let's stop airing people out on social media and the media and have private talks and private conversations to build each other. And if it gets heated there, we can agree to disagree, but you know I sat down in this solitude to give you love and give you my best opinion.
So going after Tyler Perry, Oprah, Lee Daniels probably wasn't the best thing to do.
That's what she felt she had to do.
Well, and listening to Monique in those different interviews where she talks about it.
Monique was angry and hurt. I don't think it was so much. I assess anger as hurt in the ego's form.
Right.
We never want to realize that we hurt. It's easier for us to say, I'm mad. I think she was hurt and felt abandoned. And although from a business perspective, because I have empathy in terms of that, because I understand both sides of the fence, that they had a point in what they were saying.
Right.
They made some mistakes. But I think that instead of blowing her up and talking her out in front of the whole class, they should pull her aside and be like, Monique, stay after class, and have a one-on-one conversation with her.
That's real. I think it's really hard too, especially because Netflix is giving the opportunity for so many black creatives to have an outlet that major studios were not giving or not necessarily funding their projects. So I think it was like right on the catalyst of that. And so it was definitely hard for people to decide.
And here's the thing. If you have an opportunity to show people what you do, then you show them what you do. If they don't pay you now, they're going to pay you later for what they didn't pay the Cold Crush. It's like a Jay-Z line. Like, you ain't paying the Cold Crush what they deserve, but I'm going to be that nigga. And you're going to pay me what I deserve. So the key is to go in there and just become that dude. And then they pay you. I didn't get paid nowhere close to what you would expect me to get paid on my first special, especially after $1.7 billion in box office behind my name. But you know what? That's fine. Take it. I'm going to gift you this. But understand there's a karma to business. And I'm going to get that money back times 4. At some point, the person that didn't pay me will pay me the most because I'm going to show you. I'll pull in numbers. So there's 2 approaches. You take a approach of what my value is, or you show them what your worth is. And then they got to pay you. And that check writes itself. Dave Chappelle, when he got his 2020, remember he walked away from 50 to come back and get 2020, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't like the deal on the table. I didn't like what it was saying. I didn't like how I felt as an artist. He walked away. And then he come back and they writing him the checks. So at some point, you just do the work. They're going to pay you. That's all. Don't worry. Don't be petty about it. It's not them that's not paying you. It's God that's not paying you. God saying you ain't ready yet. So when God says you ain't ready yet, you have to accept that. And you have to go, all right, only thing that means something is I work harder, I get smarter, and I get better. And then one day, son, God gives you what you deserve because you did the work.
Oof, that's a word. On that note, I'm wrapping it up.